Good morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you're at, ladies and gents. I am Kura Isagami, your resident tinker and Medarotter, and this is the Medarot News Network, bringing you all the latest developments and happenings with our favorite pet fighting robot series. Now, as we prepare to say farewell to the second volume of the Full Metal Panic collaboration, it looks like things are finally going to be going back to business as per usual as far as Medarot is concerned. But with the start of July and officially cresting into the second half of 2025, with the heat of course also picking up and amping up in a lot of places, especially here where I'm at here on the workshop floor, things are only going to be ramping up in Medarot equally as well. This time around with the introduction of some summertime fun time with the introduction of two models that have still yet to make appearances outside of the resident game of Medarot Girls Mission, where they originally hailed from. But with that being said, let's go ahead and jump right into what was officially announced for this week, starting with the gacha banners and who to expect in the lineup of the first week of July. So since we do actually have a number of banners specific that are coming on this week, I'm going to step aside for just a little bit while I introduce all four of them. So the banners that we have going up this week for the start of July are, of course, the two newcomers, first of which is SMJ0 Whip World, with a kit of Dominion, Whip, Thunder Missile, Biped Legs, and the leg ability of Follow-Up. Now, Whip World, as unique as her motif is, actually does sport a couple of rather interesting introductions when it comes to Medarot S is concerned. And that's primarily the fact that she is introducing Whip, Thunder Missile, and the Follow-Up leg ability as the first model to not feature those skills in a collaboration, which means that once Whip World does go live, they will be permanently accessible in the game through her right now, but of course through later models as the game does continue to progress. In addition to Whip World, we also have ARN-01 Arachno Spider, the successor to the original Arachnotype Hellweaver, with a kit of Hyper Laser, Power Missile, Attack Trap, Multi-Legs, and the leg ability of Trapper. Now, Attack Trap I only marked here as semi-new, primarily on the grounds that I did actually have this confirmed to me and clarified to me earlier this morning. It is actually as it translates, it is a basic attack trap, very similarly in the same manner that the Metaforce attack trap did, where if an enemy is using a shooting or a melee skill, it is going to counter instantly with some punish damage, with 3 charges, in contrast to the Metaforce version's only 1 count of a charge. So, like I said, I'm not going to call it a brand new attack per se, since it is kind of already a skill that we do currently have in-game as it has been, but still a very powerful Arachnotype joining the game all the same. Furthermore, we also do have reruns of the swimsuit Gal types that were introduced last year from Mr. Tagro, and that is SWS0 Leafytan with Anti-Jammer, Mud Shot, Anti-Sea, Sea Legs, and Adapter, and SWS01 Fair Pearly, I just typed that wrong, with a kit of Precognition, Anti-Air, Tornado, Flight Legs, and Mariner. So again, just between these 4 models alone, even if 2 of them don't come from Medarot Girls Mission, it does honestly very heavily tie in the theme of the summertime fun time and the beach parties that are likely to be had now that summer is officially in full swing come start of July. So lots of very powerful models, very good kits as well as far as what is coming to the table, not just with all 4 of these. Now, however, I do also want to mention that between all 4 of these models, all 4 banners also feature the exact same 2 boosted rates. So let me go ahead and slide back right on in here real quick, and then we can continue forward with the boosted rates. And those are CHR0 Pom Pom Mate with Stat Cleanse, Tornado, Gatling, Biped Legs, and Mascot, and TNS0 Roll Beauty with Cooler, Blow Away, Static, Biped Legs, and All-Rounder. Now, compared to the main banner models, these 2 may not be necessarily anything overly aggressive or all-rounded. Say, for instance, a couple of minor parts such as Roll Beauty's all-rounder type legs or static, Pom Pom Mate for Stat Cleanse and Tornado, which of course goes hand in hand basically anywhere you use them. So, worst comes to worst, as a couple other models that are veterans from the game Medarot Girls Mission, there are still some very solid models that you can make use of all the same if you end up missing that boosted rate and end up getting one of these instead. Now, for the Fierce battles that will be kicking live this week for the start of July, it is going to be a pretty mixed utility week here as well, with a lot of varying parts between male and female specifically, and a lot of very solid parts to be farmed between between all 6 models. That being said, on this top row, we're starting off with FSK-0 Jinban Fairy with Charge Plant, Double Claw, Flight Legs, and Snow Type. RAY-04 Arago Star with Triple Beam, Wheeled Legs, and Excel. And KAP-01 Kappa Lord with Beam, Double Anti-Sea, Sea Legs, and Forester. On this bottom row, we have MDK-0 Hemadacker with Repair, Double Wave, Sea Legs, and Adapter. JEL-0 Pururun Jelly with Triple Missile, Tank Legs, and Fortress. And CLB-02 Side Move, Hammer, Conceal, Guard, Sea Legs, and Explorer. So like I said, a very heavy mixed utility week between the 6 models we have here, and at least 1 or 2 parts of each are always going to be extremely useful no matter which team you put them on. Jinban Fairy, who is one of the 2 MVPs of the week, primarily for the Flight Legs and Snow type, which is a terrain that not a lot of legs are actually really good on, and that's excluding, of course, Float Legs, which is A rank on everything, of course. So any leg types that offer you compatibility on that terrain is always going to be very highly encouraged and recommended. Arago Star, mostly for Wheeled Legs and Excel for your mobility-based needs. Kappa Lord for your Sea Legs and Forester and your anti-sea coverage if as necessary. On the bottom row, Hemadacker with Sea Legs and Adapter is always nice too, as you can completely negate the terrain compatibility issue that you might have. Pururun Jelly, which is the other MVP of the week. Missiles may be rather hit and miss, but the tank legs with Fortress is really nice though, as this does mean that it will be tanking a lot, and I mean a lot, of very heavy punish damage, and just shrug the hits off like they're love taps, between the tank legs passive 30% damage reduction, and Fortress on top of that when successfully defending against an enemy skill. And lastly, Side Move for Sea Legs and Explorer. Much like it is with any other leg that does have a terrain compatibility perk, it's always worth working on or just having on hand as a just in case more than anything else. So again, Jinban Fairy and Pururun Jelly will be the MVPs of the week, but the other 4 are definitely worth farming all the same, even just to have in the. Now, with the introduction of Whip World and Arachno Spider, though, we do also have the introduction of 2 new Super Invasions featuring the 2 of them. It's honestly hard telling what the rules are going to be for either of them, but it is going to be exciting all the same, as it is more endgame and late-game content for a lot of seasoned vets to kind of test their skills and put their flexibility of putting teams together to the max, because they are definitely a not for the faint of heart and no holds barred kind of difficulty, especially the higher up you go and the more of them you complete. Now we also have 2 new Medarotters from the Medarot Girls Mission title also officially joining Medarot S, but also with some swimsuit style skins to kick off the summertime fun time. Furthermore, these 2 Medarotters that are going live this week as well are for Lara, which offers a 50% to the leg's melee and shooting resist, much like Shiden does, but an additional 50% on top of that if you are using bipedal legs. Furthermore, much like with Shiden, this skill applies until attacked. So that means as long as you can keep yourself guarded and protected, you will have an almost 100%, minimum 50% free guard boost applied as long as the skill remains active. So that means if you do end up having to tank a hit, you can keep the damage as low as possible while you're still able to keep up a lot of heavy gain. This especially can apply for any leg abilities that call upon the resist stats, such as Assault, Weapon Master, what's another? Hole as another great example. So lots of leg abilities can really benefit on that very easily, and even having that boost is definitely great for having your boosted damage or modified damage bolstered based on the leg ability question. Additionally, Arisu is also joining the game as well with a swimsuit style skin, with a ability that allows the user to avoid all traps placed on the allied side of the field, and an extra boost to mobility for 1 trap bypass or 3 turns, whichever comes first. So this is going to be a really nice addition to have for any enemy trappers that try to catch you off guard, such as, say, Shoot Trap trying to counter a max shot, or Disturbance trying to counter a shield or a healer, or something along those lines. This can be very good as an emergency insurance to guarantee that even if something tries to catch you off guard or punish you passively, this does allow you to bypass it long enough to just still make your hit count or do something to counteract it, so it ends up not having to count against you. Now, as far as the Summertime Fun Time is concerned, though, we do have a summertime event that will be kicking off this week as well. This week, we have the opportunity to earn a lot of rerun rewards that have been cycled around a fair number of times in the past already. And starting that lineup is the Spider Medal, which is a Hunter Nature Medal with a mastery in melee, shooting, and setup, and leg masteries and multi-wield and float. You can also re-earn MAR0 Pure Mermaid with all repair, double repair, sea legs, and fixed plus. And we can also earn the R-rank versions of Medarot's Minami and Megumi, who were the main characters for Medarot Girls Mission, counterpart to either version. So definitely going to be very good to see both of those once again for players that did miss them, as well as being able to collect and add more just in case you did have them to reinforce the ones you already have. This event specifically will also be score attacks, so pure sets are encouraged across the board if you are planning to participate. And it is probably going to be one of the easiest events there is, because once you complete the event, all you really have to do is just farm it until you reach the point threshold that you want to stop at, and after that you're done. You don't have to touch it again, and you can go as high as you want to farm as many resources as you need. This week's PvP skins are also going to be really nice too in the summertime theme. Additionally, we have the opportunity to earn skins for a floral style skin specifically, a glory style skin for Fair Pearly, and a sunflower style skin for Leafy Town, which both look really, really nice, honestly. And it also was brought to my attention in today's episode as well that the paid skins for both Leafy Town and Fair Pearly, which basically invert their Gyaru style tans, Leafy Town going for the albino style Gyaru and Fair Pearly going for the caramel skin style, are also going to be up in the skin shop as well if you last year. Now we can also have the opportunity to earn as a rerun skin the Orihime style Marie Crown, and the Hikoboshi style of Dead Pile will be officially available in the skin shop for purchase with the diamond currency. But it's going to be really nice to see a lot of skins being rerun in addition of new ones. And like I said, these two look really nice as well. I love seeing alternative palette style skins like this, and I honestly will never get tired of seeing them. My personal recommendation and suggestion, I'd like to see more skins around a lot of KBT types outside of Metabee and Rokusho. So just a little bit more would be kind of nice. Possibly a skin for Juke and Manjiro specifically, because I really would like an alt skin for Manjiro that is not iridescent. But that is just me. Moving forward, though, on the Meta Survivor things, it is going to be relatively quiet, though, as we crest into the second half of the Hardness 10 Kokono Elegy themed event with Phase 2. The event and the rewards will be resetting starting tomorrow at time of recording, so you can carry up with that once more to earn more rewards and possibly earn towards a free Kokono Elegy as you are able to stockpile points for it. So not all that difficult and worth farming for all the same if you do find yourself playing towards and supporting with Meta Survivor. Moving forward to community-based stuff, though, as a reminder, we are always looking for translators to assist us with any current projects or endeavors. This includes the currently ongoing Medarot 4 translation project and any endeavors toward the Medarot manga translation. As it has been mentioned in recent weeks, the Medarot manga has been officially scanned into RAWs, and we only just need translators and cleaners to help us put that together so we can finally understand the story of what happened on the manga side of Medarot Navi. That being said, if you know somebody that is knowledgeable in coding or cleaning or Japanese, or if you yourself are talented in it, you are more than welcome to reach out to me or ask around in our Discord and talk about it, and we are more than happy to get you in touch with the right people to fill you in on what still needs done and what has been done up to this point. Medarot 4 is still extremely early on in development, so the more help we have on that, the better. And if you don't know anybody or don't have any skills of yourself to offer, you can also donate to the cause with a link to various crowdfunding below as well, where you can donate to the cause and we can commission to have those lines of text translated and just kind of lighten the workload on the translators themselves. Now, one final reminder, as I've been talking about over these past several weeks, is the Ori Meta contest that has been currently ongoing in the Project Rising Beat Discord server. That contest is ending today at time of recording, July 1st, 2025. The contest will be closing at midnight, where I will officially close the channel and then deliberate all of the entries that were submitted, and then deliberate how many winner or winners that will be getting the top prize of the personalized concept art by yours truly. I have been very heavily thinking about the possibility of a cash prize here sometime with future contests, but that is still kind of up in the air to see if maybe that might garner some more engagement. So we will have to see as time goes on, but I am very excited to see how that contest ends up, and figure about this time next week on the next week's coverage, which will be July 8th roughly, I will officially announce the winner on the Meta News coverage and go over all of the art submissions specifically. So once again, that contest is ending today at midnight. So if you catch this episode, make sure you get those entries in now, sooner than later, before July 2nd, and the clock strikes midnight. But on the topic of art, you can also reach out to me personally if you'd like to have more stuff done, because I do also offer art commissions. I do 3D models fully rigged with the works, live 2D models ready to rig, and of course your usual art of varying degrees of detail, and emote bundles as well. So definitely be sure to reach out to me either on Discord or Blue Sky or Twitter or whatever your social media platform of choice is, and we can most certainly try to make something happen. As you see here, I will do just about anything, and I do like to believe, somehow, I have an emphasis on mecha, so more than happy to assist with those needs. Of course, nothing NSFW or gore, but that is usually never really a problem for many people. So feel free to reach out to me if you'd like to know more or inquire, and we can definitely make something. But that does basically cover everything for this week's episode, so like I said, relatively quiet start to the beginning of the summertime fun time, which I think a lot of people are happy about as we prepare to say farewell to the Volume 2 Full Metal Panic Collab. But if you'd like to know more, you can follow us below on Facebook at the Medarot News Network page, or the Metabots Forever community that is now cresting nearly 50,000 members and still growing by the day. So do make sure you tune in on either of those if Facebook is your platform of choice to stay up to date with anything to do with the series. Furthermore, you can also join us on Discord if you'd like to keep an ear closest to the ground on anything related to the series. That includes merchandise, fan art, contests, my weekly coverages, my Ori meta streams, or any other announcements that are worth looking into. That is the first place you're going to hear the news before it goes anywhere else. And then, like I said, you can also follow me on Twitter, Discord, or Blue Sky at IsagamIKura. DMs are always open, so do not hesitate to drop a hello and see how I'm doing. That also applies if you'd like to possibly collaborate with me, whether that means having you here on the MNN as a guest host, or collabing with your channel or on mine for a friendly game, or even an art stream. I would love to try to make something happen. Also, do follow these very dear friends of mine as well. Helm Chan, who was on my channel fairly recently for an Ori Meta collaboration. And I like to believe we both did a wonderful job putting something unique together, putting our heads together to come up with something original and fun. Definitely give Helm Chan a follow to see more of their fun stuff in your feeds. Furthermore, on the topic of other streamer friends of mine, do follow Emeraldo at Emeraldo Emera, who's currently in an ongoing donathon into day 2 at time of recording, actually. I will be guesting on his donathon tomorrow, July 2nd, for his donathon. So do make sure you offer him support on there and let him know that you said hello. Tell him that your old pal Kura sent you his way, and he'll know what to do. But with all that being said, as always, I do appreciate you all for stopping in, just as you always do. And until next time, this is your host, Kura Isagami of the Medarot News Network, signing out.